Well, black made what turned out to be a suicidal attack on this. It didn't look it to me. I don't know if the rolls went poorly or what. It was 3 dreadnoughts against more or less what you see here. Less, there was a destroyer and 1 less cruiser and maybe a couple fighters. But they just got wiped out, and in part because maybe the planetary cannons that fired, they did at least 1 hit. But it definitely didn't strike me as what I expected of a result from it. Now we're on to purple, and they're going to make their little foray forward, I guess. Okay, and blue triggered off the Imperial action, giving itself 2 victory points, pulling, I don't know, tied for 3rd or something like that. But what's more impressive, the Supremacy card came up. I control 18 planets outside my home system, I win the game. And I think, wow, green might be able to do that. No, they're about 3 short right now. And with that sitting out there, they look a lot more dangerous to everyone than they have previously. So far, everybody's kind of left them alone, mostly. But they've put themselves in, and they've been nice to everyone. They've been keeping deals. They haven't antagonized people, but they've slowly been able to grow quite impressively. The only thing they did badly was against purple at one point, and now blue is not thrilled with them either. But outside of those, they've largely been good. Now, they turned evil against black, there's no question there. And certainly black wants to fight them. Purple may feel obligated to keep its alliance with them, and too weak to break it, incidentally. But I think everyone else is going to see them as the threat they are at 3 planets away. Now, can they possibly get those 3 planets at this point? Not unless they have something pretty potent up their sleeve. There just isn't the movement anywhere. They've activated most of their forces. They got a free build here off that. They had to pay a strategic point for it. But beyond that, they just do not have the stamina right now to make those attacks. They're going to trigger their trade event, and that'll give them enough money. I don't know what to do. I mean, maybe enough money. No, they already have both those. So I don't know what they can do to help themselves at this point. They're doing only so-so on victory points. They're also at 5 along with purple. Purple? Where's that blue? That's blue. Purple's in the lead with 6. All right, let's set this back on the first player who's still active and see what happens. Well, that's pretty much the end of the turn. Green triggered off their trade option, which gave them a small pile of money. They refused to consider anyone else's trade deals. Hakan could remove that from them, but it would have cost them the pile that they're getting. And the pile that they're getting, they expect, will be enough to buy them one of these victory point cards and put them in the lead, really. Some other people may have cards as well that they can purchase. I'll have to look as I go through the status phase. But we're getting to the point right now. It looks like it's a race between yellow and green. Can green get 3 more planets? And I think the answer is just no to that. Or will the game run out and yellow win because people aren't going to be picking on yellow that much? There's not much you can do to them. The victory points are there, The only question is, can they get any more? And where will that be coming from? Well, one of the problems, let's see who has the speakers here. So this is one of the kind of weird things. Whoever gets the first player position, the first choice at the Imperial option, may get more victory points from that than other people will. And that's a big pile of points. 2 points for really doing nothing, just for sitting there. And I understand that this is one of the complaints of the game, and I'm beginning to see why. In 6 players, let's say it's just the normal game and it's 10 turns. Well, it sounds to me like a couple of the players are going to get hosed out of that, no matter what. And some players, and in this case it's going to be on this side of things, have the advantage. Now, as it turns out, the guy who's in the lead is yellow, and he hasn't gotten it once. But I still feel like it's a huge advantage that other players are going to have to fight to overcome. Somebody wasted or played a good card to prevent him from getting his points the one turn. And, he's had to make superhuman efforts. Now, the fact that he was so far ahead is why it even happened. Alright, let's go to the status phase, and then I'll wrap this and send it up. Okay, well, that's the end of the round. Got some counters that I missed. Over on the victory point track, you see the purple caught up with yellow, and they're both at 7 now. Green's not too far behind, so if they can kind of trade off their territorial gains for things that can gain them victory points, they may be able to surge ahead as other people are busy following them. Poor Black, not good on the board, hasn't done well on the victory point track, and just, I don't know what their problem is. I don't know if I missed something for them, but they haven't grabbed the tech advances. So there's 2 tech victory points that they missed out on. But other people have missed out on things. So for example, this one, not a lot of people have grabbed it. What about some of these others? Well, there's also the expenditure ones, and they haven't been able to do them, and they've been really, really warlike, which has definitely hurt them. Alright, I guess I'm going to wrap this one and send it up short as it is, because I want to be on turn endings everywhere. And the first decision, and I can't imagine anyone not taking victory. Oh, that's why they're behind. At least in part, they haven't gotten their second set of victory points yet, which purple and blue have. And so blue's not doing any better, really, and purple's not as high as you'd think they are in comparison to, say, yellow or green, which makes sense. I was kind of wondering why they were so high. Well, they're so high because they got 2 shots at that card so far. Alright, well, he'll get his shot and be able to pull up into moderate range. Last place. But yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and victory points is the only way Black's going to win at this point. So he's got to start focusing, get that 3rd green one so that he can get two different things off that if there's time, and at least not finish too poorly behind. Because the game is about victory points. It's not about where you are on the field, except if, as with green, you have a shot at something like this, which I think is probably not that common. I feel like green got away with something in this game. Like, my feeling is that if this were most other games, Amoeba Wars, these multiplayer space games, green's won, It's not the case in this because it's too easy to stop someone, I think, from gaining once they're spread out and big like this. And also, it's a very hard victory condition. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be that big. And green's got a lot of the board right now. They've got, swath running from here to here. They got a chunk here, Do they have half of it? I don't know, but probably pretty close. All right, let's send this one up.